This video will walk through how to do summary statistics and also graphing in SPSS. We'll start with graphs, and we will look at graphs both for categorical variables and for quantitative variables, as we have a mixture of both of those in this large data set. So under graphs, we have many options to pick from. First, let's look at a bar graph, which we would use for a categorical variable. If we have a single categorical variable, we can do a simple bar graph and click Define. And then we pick the variable we want a graph of. Let's just do grade classification, and we're going to click this arrow to put it as our category. If we ever have a variable here we don't want, we can click this arrow to send it back into the full list. So I'll put it back as our category and click OK, and it will generate for us a graph of our different categories of grade classification. If you are on a PC, you can right click on this and you can click then to copy this, and you can put it into a document. You can also take screenshots to put these graphs into your document for your assignment. Next we will look at bar graphs, but maybe we want to split these grade classifications according to another categorical variable. We can do that through clustered or stacked bar graphs. Clustered are side by side, stacked are on top of each other, and we can see that in the visual here. If I do a cluster and I click Define, I can put my grade classification along my categories, and then I want to define my clusters by something else. So let's just do which hand the people rate with. And then when we click OK, we can see that our grade classification has been split up into right and left-handed. So we could compare right and left-handed among the grades. We could similarly get that information by redoing that as the other type of bar graph, which was stacked. And if I use the same information, grade classification and which hand for the stacks, we can see then that information is stacked on top of each other instead. You can also do things like pie graphs. I will skip that, but that's where you can do that. So that's another thing for categorical variables. Some of the plots we've talked about for quantitative variables will be things like a box plot or a histogram or a dot plot, which are all available in here as well. Just to quickly do one, a histogram, we could put our variable, let's just do someone's height, put that as our variable, click OK, and we have a histogram here of heights. We could also do a box plot, and for box plot you can have simple or clustered. When we do the simple, let's stick height in there. What we can do then is break that up by some category. So we could look at, let's instead of height do how many credits someone is taking, and let's split that by grade classification and click OK. And we can take the box plot then, and we can see it's broken up by grade classification, and it's on the same scale. So we can directly compare the information for the different grades, who's more spread out, who's less spread out, where are they centered, and that sort of thing. So that's a way to get these side-by-side box plots. And then I will do under scatter dot. If we go to simple dot, which is this third option here, and click Define, we could just throw in height again for that, and we can see that we get a dot plot here for the heights, which looks similar to our histogram. And those we can also look at things like shape, like symmetric, or this is more bimodal but left skewed, right skewed, that sort of thing. Additionally, we can get information in terms of summary statistics from a quantitative variable by going to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and then Explore. Under here, for our dependent list, we would put our quantitative variable. Let's look at credits. We'll put that in our dependent list. And then it defaults down here to both, which is both statistics and plots. So it'll give us the numbers and a plot. And you can toggle if you only want one of those two things. We'll click OK. Here's the information we get, which is just how many people were in our sample. And then you can see we have our sample mean, 15.39 credits. The median, 15 credits. The standard deviation, 1.681. We've got the minimum, maximum range, and also the interquartile range. So all of those statistics are provided. We are also then given a box plot here. So that's a way to get a singular box plot where you're not splitting it according to different groups. Okay, that is some information on how to get some summary statistics and also some graphs from your data in SPSS.